You are all invited into the hall of harmony. In the stillness of sweet meditation, my soul slipped into the shining hall of harmony. The floor was studded with stones of crystal purity that reflected the multicolored beauty of divine love. The roof was decked with the glimpses of eternity. The pillars were of the truth. The walls were of peace. The hall was redolent with bliss. On the luminous throne of wisdom, I communed with my very self. The self-effulgent beloved of my heart. What peace, grace, and harmony lie beyond the mystic veil of this illusory world process. I am that light of lights. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Neelambujashyamalkomalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, and he is carrying powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Shri Ramcharitmanas of Shri Swami Tulsidas ji, the Ramayana, in Ayodhya Kanda, verse number is 74. The context of this story is Lakshmana, having received permission that he can, rather have been instructed by Rama that he must receive permission from his mother, Sumitra. So Lakshmana has come before Sumitra, his mother, with an apprehensive feeling that will my mother allow me to go with Rama or not? And at this stage, Sumitra now has well understood the situation. And she is commending Lakshmana for his pursuing Rama. For more deeper understanding, you must understand, Rama is jnana aspect. Jnana, not ordinary knowledge, but revelation of the truth. Rama is the reality in every heart. And that Rama has to be realized by the soul. So in a storyline, Rama is jnana movement of jnana yoga. Lakshmana is movement of dhyana yoga. Dhyan, constant focus on Rama. The will that doesn't swill, focused on the goal. And Bharata is bhakti, devotion, the role of devotion. Allowing your sentiments to flow in accordance with love of God. And Shatrugna is symbolic of path of karma yoga. Live to ghna your shatrus. Shatrus are your impurities. Live to sublimate your impurities. So all these four are one yoga in four aspects. We are celebrating today integral yoga. And Ramayana presents the integral yoga by four brothers, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrugna. And therefore Lakshmana must go with Rama. Sita, symbolic of Viveka Buddhi, the intellect that brings about revelation of the truth. It's known in different ways. She is absolute sadhamati. However, in this stage, you are being shown how the soul attains the purpose of life. So in other words, your attention is brought to a state of sadhana. How should Rama work? How should Sita must pursue Rama? And then Lakshmana also goes along with Rama. There are two aspects of sadhana brought about. On one side, Bharata and Shatrugna will stay in Ayodhya. Bhakti and karma yoga, they create your foundation. They are looking at the foundation. Jnana and dhyana, they are doing the dynamic activity of chopping of 10 heads. Removing ignorance along with all distractions. All this is said quickly, but this is many impurities and many veils of illusion have to be broken. So Ramayana contains a vast mystical story. Now, Sumitra's response to Lakshmana. Sumitra is that special quality the motherly aspect of nature that promotes a heart that develops a sense of friendliness towards all. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. That type of blessing comes from Sumitra. So therefore, there was a little shadow of Sumitra's fighting with Moha. But once she has overcome that Moha, she is looking at Lakshmana and says, how fortunate you are to go with Rama. And how fortunate am I to be your mother. Bhuri bhag bhajanu bhayau मोहि समेत बलि जाऊं जो तुम्हारे मन छाड़ी छलु कीन राम पद ठाऊं. O son, how fortunate am I, and how fortunate you are that you have decided to follow Rama, possessing a mind that is void of chal, deceptive nature. In other words, a straightforward process, nothing crooked about it, no politics. Putravati jubati jag soyi, Raghupati bhagatu jasu sutta hoyi. First I give you the literal meaning. That mother, that woman who is young and whose son is devotee of God. Such a woman, such a lady is most blessed in this world, to have a son like Rama. On the other hand, those who bring out their sons, who are not devoted to Rama, but opposed to Rama, they are cursed. They would have been better being barren. Now, the whole attention by reading this goes after women. But the deeper meaning behind, all souls are women. God is the Father. And the soul is a good woman when it brings out devotion as progeny, as called son, daughter, whomsoever. Devotion to Rama. Living without fulfilling the purpose of life It's better for the soul to have remained barren. In other words, it's still vain. If you don't fulfill the purpose of life, you are living in vain. All this is scolding. That doesn't mean that anyone is going to be destroyed completely. Every soul is going to attain liberation. But if you follow the right path, you will attain liberation even in this life. So encouraging people to focus on attaining the purpose of life within lifetime. That's the purpose behind the scriptures. तुम्हारे ही भाग राम बन जाही, दूसरे हेतु तात कछु नाही. It is for your good. It is good fortune for you that Rama is going into forest along with Sita. That's this. Their going to the forest is for your best luck. The greatest fruit of doing all good deeds, punya karmas, the greatest fruit is love of Sita Ram. Sita Ram is one. Sita is, in this context, Prakriti and Purusha, Brahman and Maya. Maya Shakti. Raga Roshu Irisham Madhumohu Jani Sapanehu Inake Basahohu. She's giving her son instruction. O child, even in dream, you should not allow yourself to be overpowered by raga. Here it refers to same thing as kama, perverted desire. Rosh, same as krodh, anger. Irisha, jealousy. Madhu, pride that intoxicates the mind. Moha, infatuation. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. The same points are brought in through these words. Do not be overpowered by them, even in your dream. The whole project is put through Sumitra's mouth. The balas should not be simply suppressed. They should be removed from your unconscious. So not even in dream you get into trouble. So therefore, let me repeat to you, mala exists in 5 states. Prasupta, completely dormant, so much that you have absolutely never feel the need of making a change in your perverted attitudes. And is described like, just like children look very wonderful. and they reflect the glorious attainment of saintliness, the saint-like. One moment, you have scolded the child. Next moment, the child touches your nose. I smile. Child smiles. Child doesn't hold any grudge, ever ready. But the child is giving the characteristics of being a sage. But one little defect, when the child grows up, those vasanas that are dormant will wake up. So, just being a child is not your goal. That will make you childish. But being childlike, not bodily child, childlike, that's the goal of life. So I went into a little more detail. But the point is, your vasana exists dormant, first stage, called prasupta. Next stage is called tanu. If you are in good atmosphere, under good satsanga, first stage, as you begin to purify your mind, your unconscious, subconscious, all, whenever sort of purification in every level of your mind. Of course, the deeper purification is the real one. So, you are coming now to tanu state. Tanu state means it seems to you that you have conquered your anger and you have conquered your pride, because you are very ready to bow down and say, "Oh God, I'm yours." And things become very simple for you that have developed a very advanced state. But when provocative situations arise, now we begin to lose that type of control. Simple illustration I always give with the snake. Put a snake in a refrigerator, becomes so innocent you can put it as a mala. But don't become too confident with it and start giving milk. In other words, if you lose your interest in going after the root of your impurities and destroying it, if that interest stops, then however much you might have reduced your impurities, all the impurities will come back with big force. So that's the state of tanu. Next state called vichinna. Vichinna is little confusing state. Mind develops a foxy trick. Because it is your mind that goes on judging. Are you doing the right type of sadhana? Are you doing the wrong type of sadhana? Now, if your mind is not mature enough, so what happens? Those little mistakes that mind cannot go after, the mind as if puts it under a rug, just pushes it in your unconscious up to subconscious, and develops an illusory feeling that I have controlled them. But simple illustration I always give is, you are inviting people and your idea was to clean up your house perfectly, but time is short, your celebration is more important. So put all the dust under the rug. Don't tell them. Let them come. And some of them will catch the virus. So vichinna state of mind. Now, when you look at the world and what news of the world, majority of people who seem to be very cultured, they are in the level of vichinna state. They are not peaceful. Next state is called udara state. Impurity is not a hiding, but buddhi within you, the understanding is so dull that you don't consider it is something wrong. So much so, a person is in a state of terrible temper and spilling out lots of nasty words, shaking all over with anger. And a friendly person comes, "Oh, don't you know it is ashram?" How dare you say, "I'm angry"? No. Anger is my servant. I'm using my servant. This is a righteous wrath. Even Jesus did it. Put in a simpler way, people become angry and you point out the mistake in their anger, you are going to be slapped. So udara state. And the ideal state, by enlightenment, all these vasanas that are based upon 5 kleshas, ignorance, egoism, attachment, hatred, fear of death. These 5 factors, vasanas that are based upon these 5, those vasanas become so purified that all these kleshas move away. In other words, like a cloud that was obstructing the sun. Now the cloud has become so purified, silvery, shimmering, and the sun has no difficulty in passing through it. Rather that, what happens? The cloud is rather praising the sun. You wouldn't be looking at the sun, but we see the cloud with a lot of dazzle, we look at it. Same chitta is playing now a different role. That state is the enlightened state. Their vasanas come into dagdha bija state. Dagdha bija means roasted seeds. As long as seeds are not roasted, you eat and some seeds fall and they go on growing. But the roasted ones, even if you throw them, they won't. These are all allegorical way of describing things. So that's what Sumitra says in one little sentence. Jani sapanehu inke basahobu. These impurities, anger, desire, anger, greed, jealousy, pride, infatuation, these impurities do not come under their sway even in dream. That will happen if vasanas are purified. So it is not one step movement, from tomorrow I will have that. No, it's a progressive movement. Sakala prakara vikara bihai, man kram bachana karehu sevakai. Renouncing these impurities, man krama vachan, from mind, thoughts, words and action. Render your services to Sita and Ram. तुम कहूँ बन सब भाहि भांति सुपासु, संगपि तुमातु राम सिए जासु. For you, forest is perfectly gracious for you. There is nothing difficult in the forest. The world you live in is a forest with lots of thorns and lots of poisonous fruits and things of that nature. But when you have developed Godward movement and your dhyana, your will is moving towards Rama, the world becomes upavan. The world becomes a divine forest. And if you have come to that state, that all challenging situations in the forest, you look up big mountains, even the mountain inspires you, come up, come up. And look down, that inspires you, go down, go down. Buddha termed it Bihar. Once you have gone into higher level, you live with people in the spirit of Bihar. Bihar means entertainment. You find divine qualities playing around. And your mind goes on developing unique inspiration. Every satsanga session was called Bihar by Buddha. That's it. And from a broad way, if one has attained a higher level, the whole world becomes Bihar. It's the glory of the Bihar province. You live in Bihar, that is always Bahar. Bahar term is very joyous. Joyous expressions everywhere. Jain Ram ban lahi kaleshu, soi sut karehu, ihai upadeshu. Always attend on Rama, so that Rama does not go through any injury or pain in his forest life. This is by your instruction. Now, put it in a deeper way. Whenever you are given point that this will please God, as if God is in displeasure. Should serve God as if he needs service. Serve his lotus feet as if he needs reflex on us. All these are allegorical. Simply means you are developing this sensitivity of coming closer to God. If you are insensitive, as if God is suffering before you. So help him. How do you help him? By removing your negativity. So the best way you serve God is by becoming more and more purified, discovering more and more love of God. Figure that out. उपदेशु यह त्यहीं तात तुम्हारे राम सिय सुख पावहीं पितु मातु प्रिय परिवार पुर सुख सुरति बन बिसरावहीं तुलसी प्रभु ही सिख देई आयसु दीन पुनि आशीष दई रति हो अविरल अमल सिय रघुबीर पद निद नित नित नई. O child, this is my instruction to you. Go with Rama and do everything possible to see that Rama and Sita are served by you in a perfect manner. So much so, forget about everything. Father, mother, parivar, near and dear ones, all these citizens, forget them all. Focus on Rama and Sita. Rati ho aviral amal. Your devotion to Rama should be unflinching, pure. Siya Raghubira Pad Nit Nai Nai. And that devotion should have increasing novelty in it. That's the definition of bhakti. Worldly love gets into confusion. Divine love, you discover increasing blossoming, increasing thrill. Until thrill cannot increase anymore, it becomes infinite. But it is a constant ascending movement. Anurag. Matu charan sirunai chale taturat sankiti hriday bhagur visham torai manahu bhaga mirgu bhaga sabas. Lakshmana, bowing his head at the feet of Mother Sumitra, turned back, turned towards Rama, but still he is like a deer, apprehensive. His mother may call him back. A deer that has just been released out of a trap. With ears erect, eyes in suspense, feet alert to run. That was the description of Lakshmana. मातु चरण सिरुनाई चले तुरत संकित हृदय भागुर विषम तोराई मनहु भाग मृगु भाग बस. गए लखन जहाँ जानकी नाथु भे मन मुदित पाई प्रिय साथु. Lakshman ji came where Rama was, Rama and Sita. And having found his beloved Lord, his heart was filled with joy. Offering his adorations to the feet of Rama and Sita, he went along with Rama and Sita to the royal palace where King Dasharatha is. कहीं परस्पर पुर नर नारी भली बनाई विधि बात बिगारी तन कृष मन दुख बदन मलीने बिकल मनहु माखी मधु छीने. Now is a description of moha. Any spiritual movement has to face challenging conditions created by deluded love. Just like the morning sun you face, but first you face darkness gradually dwindling away. But sometimes nature says, hail, hail. hail storm comes in. Soft mist around. Now you can't see the sun. I'm just trying to illustrate the moha aspect. Moha is like smoke, but not ordinary smoke. It has many more appearances. So, in a storyline, this moha aspect is being now described in terms of people around, all Ayodhya, not one person or two persons, but all Ayodhya feels miserable because Rama is going to go to forest. कहीं परस्पर पुर नर नारी भली बनाई विधि बात बिगारी. Men, women, all the people of Ayodhya, their bodies have become thinner. Mind feels miserable. Faces lost their shine. Udas. And they are saying, what a wonderful fortune was going to smile. Vidhata, Brahma was doing something so good. And suddenly he changed his mind. They are so upset and miserable, as if the description is given. What happens to the swarm of bees, honey bees, if the honey has been taken away? So the swarm of people, their honey Rama is being taken. Karmi jahi siru dhuni pachitahi, jani binu pankha bihaga akbulahi. They are rubbing one hand with the other. That's one of the expression of despair. You don't know which hand should do what. Both are confused. Karami jahi. Siradhuni pachitahi. Putting the head, knocking. Now look at my head. Siradhuni pachitahi. Just like birds. Birds that have injured their wings or lost their wings, what's their condition? Bhai badi bheer bhoop darbara, baranin jai vishadu apara. And the royal assembly is crowded with people. People who are expressing immense distress. Sachiyo uthai rau baithare, kahi priya bachan ram pagudhare. The minister helped the king. King was in state of such grief that his whole body was kind of paralyzed. So the minister assisted the king to sit up, saying to the king, Rama has arrived. And King Dasharatha looked at Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. And his heart was overwhelmed with sorrow. All this is a state of moha. Moha comes to explosion, like explosive jwalamukhi, volcanic eruption. Siya sahita sutta subhagadau, dekhi dekhi akulai, बारही बार सनेह बस राउ ले उरलाई. Seeing two of his sons along with Sita, the king is so agitated. All that he does out of overwhelming affection, he just brings them to his heart. Enfolds them in his arms, one after another. Rama, Lakshmana, Sita. Again Rama, Lakshmana, Sita. Saying nothing. Sakai na boli bikala nahu, shoke janitur darun dahu. The king is unable to utter any word. And terrible distress has exploded in his heart. Shri Rama, the hero of the line of Raghus, with great devotion, bowed his head at the feet of King Dasharatha and asked for permission to depart to the forest. Pitu asisa yasu mohi dijay, harsha samay vishamau, tat ki jai. O Father, give me your blessings. Give me your permission. This is the time for joy. Joy is a joyous opportunity. You have given opportunity for me to have wonderful satsanga. And for Bharata to be the ruler. There's nothing sorrowful about this. During the occasion of joy, why are you falling into grief? तात किए प्रिय प्रेम प्रमादु जसु जग जाई होई अपवादु. O dear Father, at this occasion of doing something which is expression of love, something that allows the love to blossom. Why are you doing pramad? A farmer is there, a beautiful creeper is there, and it's a time to give little water to make the bud blossom. But the farmer says, I will do it tomorrow. That's called prabhat. Do it now. I'm giving a poetic way to describe the same. The idea is, the world goes on giving you opportunities. If mind is dull, then the opportunity becomes a basis for downfall. Your moha, you intensify your moha. There is opportunity to get out of smoke, come to light. But due to some delusion, you stay back with moha. And that goes on day by day. While as you do sadhana, you have then the capacity to control the power of moha over you. The control comes by degrees. So therefore your movement is always a shaky movement. Shake but don't break. Shaky movement is perfectly normal, and unless you are normal, you cannot become super normal. The world is meant to lead you to boundless love. Why are you not going after it? Prem pramad. Don't be lazy. Love of your heart is waiting for you. How do you messages turn your daily life into integral yoga with focus on bhakti, devotion, and the source of inspiration from satsanga. And if you don't put yourself in that process, thinking, oh, when I retire, I will do that. That's the prem pramad. We'll do it next week. Suni saneha bas uthi naranaha, baithare raghupati gahi maha. When Rama said that, First let me go back to it. Tat kiye priya prema pramadu. Oh Father, if you do this, pramad, losing your alertness to utilize opportunity for allowing the love to blossom. Losing the opportunity, that's called pramad. The word is inadvertence. Procrastination is simpler word. If you do that, ultimately you will lose all your yash. People sing of your glory and your fame, and you will become a source of ninda, source of condemnation, abusive words. Suni saneha basa uthi naranaha, baithare raghupati gahi baha. Hearing these words of, these loving words of Rama, the king became alert, stood up, and holding the arm of Rama, brought him close to himself, lovingly. Said, "O child, sunahu tat tum kaha muni kahi, Ram chara charanayaka ahi." O child, listen. Sages have told me that you are avatar of God. And you are the Lord of all living and moving. Charachar, all jivas that move, and all souls that are like trees, etc., movables and immovables. You are the Lord of all. Shubha aru ashubha karama anusari, ishu deyi paluk hridaya vichari. Every soul experiences fruits of karma. Shubha karmas, good karmas give prosperity. Negative karmas give adversity. As is your karma, so is the fruit of your karma. This is the Vedic teaching. Dasharatha is presenting is still moha-based argument. Aru aru kare aparadha ko, aur pava phal bhog, ati vichitra bhagavant gati, ko jag janay jog. But what she is saying, I don't understand. Somebody does negative deeds, and somebody else has to suffer. Rama didn't do it. According to him, Rama has not done anything. But Rama is going to go to the forest. And that's a negative development. Somebody has done the negative and somebody else is getting the fruit. Now let me put you into a little higher level. All negative deeds are done by not by the self. They are done by other than the self. Not self has done all the deeds, all negative deeds. Why do you have to be trapped by the karma that a not self has created. Figure that out. Every individual is a blend of self and not self. It's the not self that has created the illusion of all your miseries. That's not your karma. You as self cannot do any karmas. When you find the sun in trouble, all the trouble has been created by other than the sun, not the sun. Put it in a still easy way to understand. You go to sleep, you are in a wonderful bed, soft cushion and beautiful pillow. Now, dream. You slip into dream. Who slips? You are sleeping. But you have a whole dream experience. The entire dream experience with three factors: seer, seen, and sight. The dream subject, the dream world, experiences of pleasure and pain. That's something other than you. So this not self, this other factors has brought all that misery in your cozy, comfortable bed. Why is it so? Dasharatha asks Rama. That's pointing to jigyasa. That type of inquiry must develop in one's heart. And a deep-rooted eagerness to understand how can I get away from this dream and stay awake. Because all that misery, etc., is not caused by the self. The real you have done nothing. Snake on the rope. Snake has created all the trouble. Rope has not done it. Ati vichitra bhagavanta gati ko jag jane jogu. Divine Leela is very mysterious. That reality remains untouched. And unreal plays all this big part that blows away the minds of people. And soul goes on moving from body to body, countless things. Every moment, world process. And all this is indescribable Maya. राय राम राखन हित लागी बहुत की उपाय किए छलु त्यागी. The king wholeheartedly, without any restriction in his heart, tried every method to hold Rama back. लखी राम रुक रहत न जाने धर्म धुरंधर धीर सयाने. But he realized Rama is dharma dhurandhar. Dhuri is wheel. axle of a wheel. And a wheel is controlled by the axle. The dharma movement that gives all the progress, Rama is the axle, the very root of dharma. Dheer, one who pursues the path of dharma with unshaken heroism. So he realized Rama is that type of personality. Tab nirpasi alai uralinhi. So he didn't say anything, but let Rama do what he wants. But then he turned his attention to Sita, to hold her back. Tab nirpasi alai uralinhi. Atihita bahut bhati sikadinhi. Rama brought Sita in his arms lovingly and began to give her loving instructions. Kahi ban ke dukh dusah sunaye, sas sasur pit sukha samujhaye. That's all the miseries of the world, he told Sita. And how wonderful to be cozy, comfortable, loving, to live with sas and sasur. Live with mother-in-laws and father-in-laws. Siyamanu Rama Charana Anuraga, Dharuna Sugamu Banu Vishamana Laga. But Sita's mind was so devoted to the feet of Rama. All these loving words, she could not relish it. Aurau sabahi siya samujhai, kahi kahi vipina vipita vipati adhikai. And then all other people, Sita has to go through bigger trial, one after another. Because Sita is the most important factor that will lead the soul to enlighten. Viveka buddhi. And we will hold back at this stage. What happens? Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukma Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Mritam Gamaya Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ramayana. Hari Om.